Good evening and welcome to Super Deluxe Cheesecast, where we talk about nothing but the most delicious Bries and Swiss and Munster cheeses. Not any of that aristocratic trash that Derek was talking about on Twitter. Derek, what was that called?
Bellavitano is not necessarily a super bougie. You can get it at fucking Kroger, my dude. Like,
Brittany called it a bougie cheese.
It is.
It could be. You don't know.
Specifically bougie ass cheese.
Bougie. That's the best thing I've heard all week. Bougie cheese. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Super Deluxe Gamescast. It's Thursday, October 8th. It's been kind of a year for everybody. So it's especially been kind of a week. So we're going to try to keep it lighthearted tonight, although there is something that we did want to address at the top of the podcast here, and we wanted to talk just a little bit about the situation with Rooster Teeth, because we've all noticed that a lot of the industry simply isn't talking about this. And I think that's a shame, because, you know, Rooster Teeth over the past several months, in fact, I think has been party to some pretty bad shit happening, which is really unfortunate because there are a lot of good people who work at Rooster Teeth. I have a friend there who's a community manager. She's great. And
they're a big, powerful. Like, they're a pretty big company. Like they've got their convention. They're associated with kind of funny and Easy Allies, I think, as well. Doing production for them. Like,
yeah, no, I mean they're massive, and they just let go of two of their biggest personalities for inappropriate behavior. Like I don't think we know the full scope of everything that's happened yet, but they were let go for inappropriate behavior involving their fans, which is even more insidious.
From what I understand, there was some level of infidelity, which is basically confirmed, and the accusations are that the fans were allegedly minors or underage as well, which the problem is some of this stuff, I think some of the leaks originated on 4chan, which kind of, but I mean, the leaks are, the images are real, the messaging is real, you know, so it's just kind of some of the gray
maybe
stuff.
some of the details are fuzzy at this point.
Yeah,
and we shouldn't. But
not good.
Yeah, not good regardless.
Well, and it's been a little disappointing to see kind of the radio silence from individuals in the industry who are mutuals and friends with these people. Because I mean, this is something that, I know, especially here on this podcast, we talk a lot about being allies, and we talk a lot about shining a light in the darkness, and we talk a lot about holding people accountable. That's something that we stand for here on SDGC, and it's something that we quite frankly expect of our podcasting colleagues and friends in throughout the industry. And I get that it's difficult sometimes to confront the ugly truths about people that we have been close to for many years, but you got to do it. And the radio silence on this from people that we all know and respect has been deafening and disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really disappointing to have another situation like this, and because it's not like the trend of the month like it was when the Me Too movement was trending.
Mm-hmm.
It's like nobody's reporting on it.
Or can you imagine if these were two Ubisoft executives?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Brittany, not to cut you off. Just
no. You're absolutely right.
And yeah, like I think some of this probably has to do with the fact that, like, it's different with a big publisher / developer, right? Because there's a aside from like friendly interactions at conventions and people knowing, like there's not a lot at stake. There's an issue with somebody on a big podcast or somebody in the industry saying, hey, this is fucked up, and they don't have any skin in the game on that one. At the same time, when it's something like Rooster Teeth, which is, wait, hey, did we just go offline?
We shouldn't be. No,
we're online.
No,
keep going.
Okay, no, it was just my Twitch. That was my Twitch was being weird. Sorry about that.
Glitch in the Matrix.
But when it comes to something like Rooster Teeth, yeah, when it comes to something like Rooster Teeth, it's a little disappointing to see that same. I don't know, that same idea that we have to get these elements out of the industry is just not there. And I think due to a large part because something like, a Rooster Teeth is far more intimately tied to a lot of the big content creators. And I get it, like it's tough to call out your friends. It's tough. But to quote,
Like, is it though if they're a sexual predator? Like,
It shouldn't be.
yeah, it's like, this shouldn't be hard. To quote somebody that I know, like, who said something really smart to me a few years ago, sometimes you just got to cut a man loose. And the fact that it hasn't been done yet is really jarring.
Yeah.
Really jarring. I don't know if anything else needs to be said about it, but it's something that we all agreed probably needed to be brought up simply because on this podcast we like to practice what we preach.
Yeah. I mean, there's also still time for this to develop a little more, right? So, hopefully it develops in the way we want it to, with a little bit of public
like I said, the sources are so iffy. I can only hope that someone does have a lead on this. They're just trying to get some actual, take the proper avenues and channels and get real details and confirm stuff rather than just kind of forum posts. So.
Yeah, some actual professional
and
reporting.
actually I just saw something in chat that I like is worth mentioning too is somebody said they wanted to see a stronger stance from Rooster Teeth other than they acted outside of our code of conduct. Well, okay,
Exactly.
like what like when you're talking about,
code of conduct means like wearing shorts to work.
Yeah, I mean that's like, it's not Hawaiian shirt Friday, you can't wear a Hawaiian shirt. Like, we're talking about we're talking about engaging your fan base in sexually inappropriate manners, potentially with minors. Like that's not a code of conduct violation. That's criminal. And if that's something that's going on, then people deserve to know about that. So yeah, like the situation, like while it's still evolving, definitely needs a little more transparency. It just does.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's I think that's really all we need to say about it. But we did think that it was worth bringing up at the beginning of the show. Having said that, we are planning for a pretty silly, lighthearted, goofy podcast tonight because there's not a whole lot happening.
I mean, while we're talking about accountability, this is a bad time to tell you about a certain screenshot of a tweet of mine going around constantly in our mentions in case you want to hold me accountable.
I hold you accountable for being fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Derek, you are under arrest for being smoldering in the first degree. Sorry.
Twitter harassment drama. Sorry, I had to lighten the mood. Continue on.
So are we kicking it off with what we've been playing? Do we want to?
I think so. We got time for that.
Roll it off that. Why don't we start with Brittany in her absolutely fantastic Final Fantasy 14 shirt? That shirt rules.
Hold on.
Oh, she's gonna
never mind.
I thought she was just leaving.
Let's talk about
a bottle of wine.
I just pulled
the
fucking
the cork.
Are you gonna drink it out of the bottle?
Hell yeah!
I mean, I could.
Yeah.
But no, let's talk.
Do it, Queen.
About a little game that I've been playing called Nier Automata.
Hell
right?
yeah!
Somebody
That's right. You started Nier
pouring
Automata
alcohol while saying Nier Automata. Somebody gif it.
All right, so
Julian's got it.
I've been playing a little game called Nier Automata, and I had started playing this game November, so almost a year ago, and I didn't make it through the tutorial area where you can't save, and I got like an hour in, died at the last boss, and then it completely started me right back at the beginning cutscene where you're in the ships, and I was like, not gonna play this anymore. So I gave it a shot again. A year later, I was like, all right, let's try it again. Was able to get to a save point, and I have to tell you, based on from what I've seen in 14, in all my mentions, from the music, from my first experience playing the game, it is a fucking wild ride, y'all. It is
so much.
It is something else. Like, you go from robots fucking
the robot fuck
things,
Oh hell
No,
yeah!
well, what's funny is I started that one and I died. All right, so I because I was paying attention to the one rocking the baby, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, why is that happening? And then I died, and then I ran back into the pit, and I was like, are they fucking? And I started walking through them, and I was like, they're totally fucking raw dogging it. Like, what is this? And so I was like, all right, that's weird, but let's continue. And then immediately, right after the raw dog session, you go to the next area and it's a fucking carnival and they're wearing top hats.
Hell yeah!
And there's
Very
fucking
fancy.
and I'm just like, what happened? Like, where did I miss like a chunk of story along the way? Like, what is going on?
Everyone goes to Six Flags after a good bone session. I mean,
I love that Brittany's tone tells me she was thinking, okay, I'm at the carnival now, and I'm already thinking back to a happier time in my life when robots were fucking.
And robots were fucking. Well, I mean, it starts off like, and this is the beginning of the game, so I don't care. But the game starts off really heavy. Like you blow yourself up, you're a robot, you come back, your buddy doesn't remember, So it's like it starts off really depressing and like everything feels so disconnected and emotionless. And then you fucking robots fucking got a top hat. Let's take our robot children to the carnival. Let's fight this boss that eats androids. Like, it's just the weirdest fucking game. And so that's what I've been playing.
Do you like it so far, though?
What?
Do you like it so far, though?
Yeah, I do. I'm terrible at the combat, but I'm getting better at it. So, you know how it switches from like the side scroller to like the different. I am like for like Contra, all those fucking. I am terrible at them. Like shit, absolute dog shit terrible at those types of games because I can't I stare at one thing in front of me. I can't stare at like other stuff going on.
I'm not very good at bullet hell games either.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, bullet hell. I am fucking awful. So I'm bad at those parts, but I'm okay at the actual combat sometimes.
Yeah,
well, I'm making it. I'm fucking powering through.
So here's the thing, Britt. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
In order to fully get the story, you need to play through the game 3 times. There's different endings, and you play as different characters.
Isn't there an ending for each letter of the alphabet?
There is, but most of them are like gag endings. Like, you do a dumb thing and you die a specific way and you get an ending K or whatever. Like,
you don't really need to play through it 3 times. You basically have to play through it twice. The second's from a slightly different perspective, and then the third playthrough is pretty much new content.
It's like a continuation. It's just Just play again after the ending. That's really it.
Would be spoiler territory.
Yeah.
It's what?
I said to say anything else would be spoiler territory, but like you're like fucking strap in. You're like you haven't even started the fucking ride.
And it was funny because when I was posting screenshots on Twitter and everybody was like, "Oh, just wait," and I was like, "Okay."
I need to give that game another chance because I don't usually let hype like affect my enjoyment of games, but I spent years just being told like this game will like blow your mind and this the twist and like this ending is just and I mean there was other things I didn't like, but it wasn't a bad game, but like I played through the whole game and I got to like the true ending and did everything and I was just kind of like, I think it just couldn't possibly live up to that for me, but I'd like to go in now that I kind of seen it all and soak it in a little bit more with all those expectations removed and trying to appreciate.
I know nothing. I haven't been spoiled on anything. I don't know anything about what's gonna happen. So that's me. Robot fucking. That's what I've been doing.
Robot fucking. I'm gonna be thinking about that all night. I want to give a quick shout out to Julian in chat who does the music for all of our shows. I know we have some industry friends who listen to this podcast. If you're looking for somebody to do music for your game, Julian is amazing.
So fucking good.
Just throwing it out there. And if you want to find him on Twitter, he is at @JULZVZ.
Same as on Twitch here.
Oh, yep.
Can confirm he is the best.
Go hit him up. Julian rules, and he's incredibly talented at what he does. I guess I'll go next. I have been juggling multiple different games. So today I spent almost all day, as I'm off work this week. I spent almost all day, Brittany, especially this will and Jeff, this will pique your interests, grinding my miner to 80, and then grinding his dragon song pickaxe out. So I finally got that. And then I have just been floating around the diadem, trying to get scripts. That has literally been my entire day, just grinding.
Can we just talk about how Jeff
14. Got it.
became like a brand new person by taking off his glasses and his
really
sweatshirt?
weird. I don't know what to think about that.
I was like, who's this?
Well, I just became aware that I was wearing like 3 layers and I was getting so fucking hot because I have the heat.
Like the sweat.
And I'm drinking and I get really warm when I drink. So, yeah, I don't know.
No, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 all day, just grinding mining fucking sucks. Like grinding, like I fell asleep 3 times. No,
Way to sell the game, John.
No. The game itself is amazing. A grind, like if you're not used to an MMO grind, like holy shit, drink some fucking coffee, put on some fucking Metallica, get yourself psyched up because you will need it. Especially if you're sitting like in a big soft armchair like I was, because it's just mining ore over and over and over and over. But I've got my Dragon Song pickaxe now, so I'm good. No more fucking mining for me till like I don't know, tomorrow. But I've also been doing a replay of Dragon Quest 11S on Switch because that game fucking rules. And it was actually, since it's October and it's Spooky Game Month, I am going to start up Luigi's Mansion 3 replay.
We should do multiplayer together.
That game is fucking awesome. And after that, I'm gonna play Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
because it's October.
Nice.
That's what I'm playing right now. Nice. Nice. Like people listening have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
If they watched last episode, they will.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. All right. Who wants to go next? We got Derek, Jeff, and Finn.
I can go
Finn,
next.
are you okay? Finn looks so sad.
He's
No, Finn, you gotta.
Hey,
Nice.
he's allowed to do his own way.
Yeah, Finn.
Finn's just vibing.
Yeah, he's
Listening to
vibing.
some Fleetwood Mac.
just vibing.
Vibes for the poor.
Vibes for the poor.
So I've been playing 2 games primarily. I've been streaming on our channel some Alien Isolation, which I'm going to stream a little more of tomorrow. Game came out in 2014. I played it back in 2014. I loved it. I haven't played it since then. I was intending to stream it for October for a long time, so I've been waiting like almost a year for October to come around again so I can stream Alien Isolation. And it's such a good game. It is scary as shit. It is full of love for the original Alien movie, which is still by far the best. One of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Derek, I thought you were just going to stop it. It's full of love. And I was like, no, it's not.
We did have somebody who was RPing as the alien in the chat earlier who was like, I'm just trying to give you a hug. And it was like, no, your hugs hurt. But that... And then
tongue you a little bit.
Yeah, it's not it's not good. It's not good. That's bad kisses. We're supposed to be social distancing right now, Alien, and this is not really appropriate.
The space count? Are you supposed to social distance in space?
Absolutely. In space, no one can hear you ask them to step back up to 6 feet. And then I've been replaying Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, which is the GameCube Fire Emblem, the first one that Ike is from. And it's been a long time since I've played it, and I'm happy to report that it is still the best Fire Emblem game. Ike is an incredible protagonist. It's a good story. It's a good cast. It is very well written. It is not overly complicated in its mechanics. It is fairly balanced with a decent amount of difficulty. Like it's not as much of a walkthrough as some of the newer games can be, even on their harder settings. But it's not like bullshit hard. And it's interesting to go back to it because there's a lot of, obviously, Path of Radiance, if you played it, and if you don't play it, you don't know. A lot of the story of the game is built around race and racism, using fantasy races, not actual skin color race, because Japan's not ready to have that version of the conversation yet. But, they told a version of it, and they have conversations about the concept of privilege within a GameCube Nintendo first party JRPG. Ike has to sit there and be like, oh, right, I'm like a white boy who grew up in a sheltered, safe world, so it's easy for me to say that this stuff is, one thing or another. It's just a good game. It's just a good game. So yeah, those have been the two that I'm playing, and I'm looking forward to beating Path of Radiance, moving on to Radiant Dawn, doing the save import thing. But that's been me for the past week or two here.
I've enjoyed your Alien streams.
Yeah, it's been a good time.
It's not actually, Derek, I was listening to it while I was mining today, and every now and then the tedium would be pierced by a shriek, and I'm like, oh, Derek.
If you look over the stream, I'm just sitting here like
I was actually picturing the Ned Flanders scream.
I can't make my tongue do that.
But... Purple drapes. There's too much tongue going on.
That's
the most I got.
Thinking about that one episode where we all licked our switches. Finn, why don't you go ahead and go next and preface it with what you got going on tonight? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
You're doing a giveaway, son.
Oh, that. Okay. I didn't know we were planning on doing it here. Okay. We had already established when in the show we would be doing this, and you're swerving.
I thought we were going to kick off with it. We just forgot about it.
No. Apparently, John just doesn't listen to our plans, and it's fine. Let's do it. That. So, yes, we have a giveaway this week, courtesy of the lovely folks behind Crash 4. I put out the call earlier this week to let us know what your favorite memories of said franchise was. And hold on, there's one thing I've been really meaning to say.
Oh God!
So,
what?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Is it John? I'm disappointed in you.
So, no.
I get that from my wife all the time. I'm used to that.
So as we all know, everyone's favorite marsupial is back in Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. And in a game about time travel, I guess you could say you can crash forward. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your time. This has been my TED Talk. Let's give away some games. How about that? I'm so proud of everybody. Everyone face palming at the same time. I think I froze. I don't know what's going on.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're not frozen. I don't know if you're good, but you're not frozen.
This just makes me happy. So, what I'm going to do is I want to reward the people in chat. So, people in chat, if you would please indulge me, and if you have entered into the contest, give me a Saki bless in chat, and you will get first dibs at my random number generator, because I have already picked the list of winners, but I will go in the order of the people in chat first. So, okay. Now that I've got the oh, see, so all right. So people in chat that didn't know, the official account tweeted out that if you tell us your favorite memory of Crash Bandicoot, the franchise, you would be entered into a chance to win a PS4 digital code of said game. Now, we've gotten several Saki blesses in chat, so let me compare that to my list of the previously picked winners, and the first one will go to not Bronson Lee, because he's a cheater and we don't want him to win anything. It's actually Insanity Gamer.
Bronson.
Because Bronson's answer to the contest is, what's my favorite memory is winning this contest. And I'm like, no, not on my watch.
That should count.
It does
think that
not
should count.
It doesn't. He actually was not chosen
Bronson
to win.
does not experience linear time in the fashion that we do. So
This is true. So, Insanity Gamer, do me a favor. Shoot a quick DM either to the official SDGC account or to me on Twitter at NOLA Nerdcast, and I will fit you with your code. However, you may think, wow, I didn't win. Joke's on you, suckers. We got 2 more codes to give away, and those will be sent out later in the episode.
we're going to keep stringing people along.
Stay in chat.
That's right. We got to make them stay and listen to our bad takes.
Also, I am not above bribery. DM me your favorite thing about me, and maybe that might grease the wheels. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes.
I think you're going to say, shoot me your Venmo.
Oh, God, no. I'm not that way, okay? No.
I think he would not get codes anymore.
My fragile ego
I was expecting
bolstered every now and then. That's fair.
I was expecting
I
Finn
think
to
that's
say,
fine.
for the last 2 codes, please subscribe to my OnlyFans. And that's
my OnlyFans is just me rubbing Saki's belly because the baby kicked for the first time yesterday, and we are just beside ourselves with joy. I'm so
What do you
excited.
have to take a joke I make and make it incredibly wholesome?
Because I would still do an OnlyFans for that because there's an audience for that.
He's
It's
incredible.
fine.
That's why.
Okay, so back to the games I've been playing, which is going to be very quick because I have not been playing much this week because we are still unpacking. As you can see, if these are all these games and collector's editions and figures and stuff that I'm about to sell, and my room is just packed with just garbage right now. Garbage of awesomeness. However, I have been playing one thing, and that was the entirety. While the rest of the world played Donkey Kong Country 2, your boy Finn played Mario Super Picross and beat the hell out of it. 100% of that game, both Mario and Wario, all 10 stages plus the special. So, how much. And then I've been playing Dokkan Battle, and I got the new Gohan, and he's cool. And he can turn into Ultimate Gohan, which I know everyone is very excited to see. Look at that. He's so cool. And then I also got, where is it? Yeah, I got the new Vegeta. He's all like, rawr.
Best boy.
Rawr. I'm sorry, I didn't say Yamcha. But anyway, that's what I've been playing. Not much this week. It was a big Picross week, and I look forward to finishing the Avengers campaign this weekend. I'm going to delve back into that because I kind of fell off of it. Waiting for Julian to play some co-op with me. That's all I got. Moving on to Jeff.
Jeff, what have you been playing recently?
Oh, man, I hate this question because I...
Do you need my wine?
No, I got my whiskey here.
I have been examining the anomaly in Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of the games I play are just stupid, and I don't like talking about them. So I've been playing a lot of Flight Simulator, and it's a very hard game to explain to people. I don't so much feel like I'm talking about playing the game as like explaining to people why I'm not crazy for playing this game, because nobody gets it. But I've been playing a lot of Flight Simulator. I'm kind of past the initial getting familiar with the game overall phase, and now I'm like really digging into like individual aircraft because each airplane like obviously operates entirely differently. So my day today was like posting for tips on the forums, and I got 2 helpful responses. One's like, oh, here's a guide on how to land an Airbus 320. And I was picturing like a little like wiki fact that someone wrote on GameFAQs or something. They linked me to an Airbus manual, which was 124 pages, and it had like an entire 30 pages on just entering your flight plan using like, and I'm like, this wasn't quite what I was looking for. I just wanted to know how to land it without crashing. So I don't know. There's a weird sense of satisfaction between like just figuring out little pieces of the instrumentation and stuff like that. And like when things finally click, so like I was finally able to land this like giant aircraft without crashing it. And it just floats down on the runway, and then you kind of cut the throttle and it just drops with the satisfying clunk. And the audio-visual experience in the game obviously sells it, but I don't know. Again, it's just kind of like an easy way to nerd out. Other than that,
I love it.
I've been playing. So I've been all over the place. I've been playing. I started Resident Evil 3 finally because I wanted to wait to get it on sale, and it was on sale for half price.
I didn't realize you haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I mean,
Haven't
I
either.
heard it was short and money's tight. I wasn't going to drop.
It is
You know,
short.
games are all $100 here now, so
Ooh, that's
Um,
right.
yeah. So I grabbed it for $40, which is less than half price. I only got like an hour or two in. I hit the sewers, and sewers is when I like check out of games because I don't like sewer levels. I'll come back to it, but I get why people were disappointed coming off of 2, but for me personally, this game rules. Like I don't have to use my brain. I'm playing on easy. Jill starts with an AR. There's ammo everywhere, so I'm just like running through like this set piece driven zombie shooting gallery and a little bit of light puzzles in there, and yeah, it's pretty fun. And I played the
fucking
originals.
terrifying though.
Yeah, he's I like him more than Mr. X so far. He feels easier for me to like. I just pop some rounds into him and he goes down and I just run away. But it's definitely not helping my anxiety. That's for sure. And then the last game I've been playing is I tweeted about this from the official account the other week. As always, there'll be a couple people in here with things to say. As I finally started Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
I bought
I
this
don't know why you're
game.
so excited, John.
I bought this game probably 6 years ago. I've installed it 5 times, and every time I do, I tweet out a screenshot of installing it. And every time I do that, I get talked out of playing it, and I uninstall it. So I finally booted it up. And you know what? It's not bad. I didn't like it at first. I was not at all drawn to the characters or the intro to the game is really weird. I don't know if it's just me, but it doesn't like it gives no context for what's happening.
It's
I had
not
to
just
read
you.
loading screens.
It's not just you. It is
Okay.
famously
No.
the worst
Okay.
Final Fantasy at setting up
Like,
its world.
They keep talking about a fallacy and lispy, and I had to go into the data log to even find out what a fallacy is. They say the way they word, they're like they drop fallacy every 5 sentences.
And there's
The
not
fallacy,
enough
the fallacy.
context in the conversation to figure out what
No,
that's
they're
supposed
not.
to mean.
But this
Yeah.
game is so much better than Final Fantasy VIII. Like it's not even fucking
No.
close. Like,
No.
No,
Eight
I
is
will
so
say
much better.
I will say I like 8. I like 8 a lot. I got to the very end and couldn't beat it. Oh, this is actually a funny story. I'll tell really quickly. I was playing this in college, I think on my PSP, and I basically got to the end of the game. I think it was at like either the final boss or one of the final bosses, and I couldn't beat it, so I spent like weeks trying to level up, like grinding to level up to beat it. And then my friend she tells me, no, the enemies scale. You're just too bad at the game.
They do.
So
Yes,
I
they
never,
do.
so I never finished 8, but 8 has the draw system and 13 doesn't. So I'm enjoying 13 more.
I mean, I'll tell you a funny story about Final Fantasy VIII. I picked it up expecting it to be good.
It's a good game. It's a good game with a few flaws.
It wasn't
Mhm.
at all.
Oh.
Just throw it
All
out.
right.
It's better than 13.
Yeah.
What?
I will say I love linear games, and I was expecting a linear game, but I didn't expect the memes about 13 just being holding the analog stick forward to be so true. Like, I am shocked. 10 was like that, but
Every
13
Final
is like...
linear. Every single one. Every single one.
No, but like literally...
Linear in terms of
literally,
objective, not linear
You
in
have like
terms
a
of
2 meter... You have a 2 meter hallway, and that's it.
Every
Final Fantasy 7, I can go like over to this corner of the room.
10 was literally the exact same structure, and everybody loves it. And then 13 does the same thing, and everybody hates it suddenly. It doesn't make any sense. 13 has the best combat in the entire series.
No, and I will die on this hill.
disagree.
Final Fantasy X-2 has the best combat in the
Oh,
Final Fantasy series.
the 10.
Yes, it
Final
does.
Fantasy
No,
VII
no,
Remake has
no,
planted
no,
those.
And that's all right. We reached our time for Final Fantasy tonight.
Yeah.
So let me break down to you in just 30 short minutes about how Final Fantasy
So
13
it's October, which means that it is spooky season, as we are all saying, is a collective shorthand to say that it's the 1 month out of the year where we're allowed to overindulge in horror content. Now,
Wait, I'm going to take this time to leave because spooky games are spooky, and
games are-
I have nothing to contribute to this conversation.
Well, you know
because
what,
I avoid them all.
you know what? So let's talk instead of for you, because I don't want you. Oh, he's got his headphones off. It's too late.
No, I'm listening.
Okay, I was gonna say for you, why don't you talk about instead of what the rest of us are gonna talk about some horror game we hold in high regard and why it's something important to us. So Just find another game.
It's Eternal Darkness.
Oh, well, that's a horror game.
Horror game,
It was
Finn.
more of a thriller.
You know what?
No, that game is
Count
taken.
it. Count it. Talk about it. You
Look,
go
I
first.
talk about it hating on scary games, but I
Jeff, you're
play
muted,
a
by
lot
the
of them. Oh, Jeff's muted. I'm not muted.
No.
No, Jeff is muted.
Oh, I am muted. Oh, that's fine. I wasn't saying anything important.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Finn. Tell us about Eternal
I'm
Darkness.
so
Finn,
confused.
'cause it's good.
Tell me about why Eternal Darkness is important to you.
Yes.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes, you.
Look, I've been freezing. I can't.
Talking to Jag.
No.
What is this, Jag?
I'm
Look,
so
let's
glad
just
you
say-
brought up Eternal Darkness. Brittany, tell me
I
why
was-
Eternal Darkness is so important to Finn.
Oh my god, I was so sad when you decided
so
not to stream it.
listen.
Okay.
Oh, I don't
So-
know.
So I liked Eternal Darkness because I mean I didn't even think it was going to be that scary of a game, and it ultimately wasn't. But I really loved the like psychological like mind game things. I legitimately, when it told me that my memory card got corrupted, I legitimately
Yeah.
freaked out, and I got up and reset my game, and I did not know that it was part of the game. But like all the stuff where you, like your limbs would just fall off, or you're walking on the ceiling, or you're teleported back into the room you just left, and now there's monsters and you don't have any weapons there, or your controller got unplugged, or the one that always got me was the fly that you
Yeah.
thought was like on your TV.
Yeah.
It was just, and then I really liked the way that you could play the game. You had to play the game 3 times to get the true ending, because you had to go each. You know what? It did the 3 colors better than Mass Effect 3. But anyway, I mean, Silent Hill, I really enjoyed, like the Resident Evil 1 through 4.
You don't like horror games, and you bring up like
Yeah.
the
come on,
king of
Finn.
horror games,
Look,
Silent Hill.
I literally just said they scare me, so I usually avoid them. But there are some I've delved into.
Yeah.
Until
Like,
Dawn,
horror
I'm the
games are
same
very
way. I
scary,
don't
like,
play
you
horror
them.
games, but
While I'm on the
I
subject,
don't like
you bring up
soda,
Silent
but I
Hill.
want to talk about Dr. Pepper. And also, I've been known to drink Coke and Pepsi. So,
Look, the best thing a horror game has ever done since Eternal Darkness has been Until Dawn. The way they don't tell you that they're going to use the PlayStation camera, but then at certain points in the game, it records your reaction to certain jump scares, and then later you can replay how fucking terrified you are. And it turns out I hit myself a lot when I'm scared. I like throw the controller and like bring my fists down onto my legs, like, God damn it! Like I just get mad that I got scared, and it was really fun to see it happen over and over and over again. Like a child, I would constantly be scared. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna get a drink. You guys keep talking spooky season.
yeah.
If you guys don't mind, I'd like to go next because I have something that I don't think a lot of people have played.
Sure.
So like, as far as horror games go, like the one I wanted to talk about is Lone Survivor: The Director's Cut. And Lone Survivor is a game by Jasper Byrne, who was a huge fan of the Silent Hill series, so much so that he actually created a game based, like heavily influenced by Silent Hill, called like Quiet Mountain or something like that. Like but Lone Survivor. Oh, I see people in the chat are know about Lone Survivor. So Lone Survivor is a 2D Silent Hill typed. Basically, it looks like it's Silent Hill, but what if Silent Hill was a 2D side-scrolling game on Super Nintendo? And it doesn't sound scary, but the game is fucking unnerving. And there is the reason I love it so much, one, is because it really nails that Silent Hill style horror that I absolutely love, but also at the end of the game, there's 5 different endings. There's a blue ending, red ending, yellow ending, white ending, and I can't remember the other color. But to get the white ending, you have to do, which is the actual true proper ending, you have to do a very specific like for example, you have to make it through the game without even firing your gun. You have to make it through the game without taking any meds. And at the end of every playthrough, you get a mental health report. And in the mental health, it's basically it's called a psych eval, and it tells you, it breaks down every single action that you took throughout the game, and talks to you about the psyche of your character. And basically the premise of the game is there is a pandemic or some kind of disaster that happened, and you believe that you're the last living person in this city, and everybody else has been turned into a some kind of mutant that's inside out, and it is incredibly fucked up. And it's like, when I say it's Silent Hill, like, you'll be walking through an apartment complex, you go to a hole in the wall, and all of a sudden everything is made of fucking meat, and everything is pulsing, and everything is made of meat, and it is so fucking. It is one of the most atmospheric horror games I have ever played, and it will constantly have you guessing or second guessing as to what the nature of everything happening around you really is. And when you get the white ending and you realize the truth of what has happened, it will stick with you for weeks. When you actually comprehend what has happened in the game and what the game is trying to tell you and the truth behind the protagonist. Finn, we're talking about Lone Survivor. You will, like I said, I thought about that, the true ending of that game for weeks, and you can do a playthrough in 2 hours. So I mean, like it's not a very long game, but it's on PlayStation 4 and PC and Vita if you're rocking the Vita, and highly. Hey, I played it on Vita. I might even stream that game this month because that is just such a good game.
Good time for it.
One of the finest horror experiences I have ever had. Please, somebody go next.
I can go next real quick if
yeah.
we're okay with that.
Go ahead, Derek.
So probably if I'm going to think of what is my like favorite horror game or most impactful, the one that I hold like closest to my heart, it's probably going to be Evil Within 2. So
it's a good one.
Yeah, so the Evil Within, and a big part of that is because I think Evil Within 2 is very unique in the way that its importance to me, part of that has to do with its relationship to the original game, right? The original Evil Within is this solid, like decently put together, kind of disjointed, but very fun and serviceable, like Resident Evil 4, like, action horror game. It's fun. It's dumb. It's, very, very generic in a lot of ways. The most generic protagonist ever. The most like nobody. There's no character arc. There's no anything. It is Resident Evil 4. It's even created by the guy who created Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, Shinji Mikami.
Yeah, it's Shinji Mikami. So, then the Evil Within 2 comes around, and if the Evil Within 1 is Resident Evil 4, then the Evil Within 2 is like Silent Hill 3 or Silent Hill 2, one of those two, kind of both. It's definitely more Silent Hill inspired. It's open-ended as opposed to like long corridors and set pieces kind of style, like Resident Evil 4 very much was. It is significantly more character focused. It takes this crazy, stupid, ridiculous, unrealistic, wild horror story, this roller coaster that you went through in Evil Within 1, and then it shows you what that would have actually done to somebody. And Sebastian goes from being this Leon Kennedy-esque, like blank slate of an action hero protagonist to a deeply, deeply fucked up and broken man. His like generic tragic backstory that isn't important at all in Evil Within 1 becomes the focus of the second game's story and his relationship to his missing daughter and who he thinks is dead. And spoiler alert is not. You find that out very, very in the beginning of Evil Within 2.
Spoilers.
And like what all of this did to his relationship with his wife, and then also what losing their child did to his wife is very important because she's a major character, and it is a story of post-traumatic stress. It is a story of mental health, but primarily of overcoming severe like PTSD and other mental health issues, because Sebastian is defined by the way that's impacted him through most of the game, and it comes to a head with him kind of finally slowly being able to peek past that and become a little bit more whole. And yeah, like it's very easily to take a very, as Blaine put it, ableist approach to getting over mental health issues with like, just do it. Like if you just try harder, you'll do it. And Evil Within 2 manages to say that like, yes, you can do that. Yes, it's going to be one of the hardest fucking things you will ever do. And it's not about like shaming you for not being able to just get over it. It's saying you will eventually become whole again. You will eventually move past these things, and it's going to be monumental when you do so. And it's just a super well put together game, but to me, it's the writing. Most horror games are not that well written, not that deeply written. Like, they're fun. They might have decent stories, but Evil Within 2 is actually just one of the better written games of this generation, if you ask me. But again, if you didn't play Evil Within 1, a lot of that impact's probably kind of lost. You know, I think it's interesting to me how you go from the original Evil Within as a big, dumb, shock horror game to something that then recontextualizes that as actually really fucked up to have gone through. You know, most horror games don't have somebody, you know, become a broken alcoholic shell of a person at the end because they had to fight people with barbed wire wrapped around their heads and shit. You know, we overlook that shit. So Evil Within 2.
Also, shout
incredible.
out to these sequences where the ghost chases you in the Evil Within 2, which are like some of the scariest shit I've ever had to deal with.
And completely optional. If you just don't do a side quest early in the game, that enemy and those sequences will just never happen. Like, that's wild to me.
The one where she's walking around that small room and you gotta like sneak. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Ooh,
Fuck.
Yeah. Just thinking about it. Fuck.
So yeah, Evil Within 2 is my favorite horror game, and I wish and hope to see more horror games take that level of care in their stories and their characters and their themes, instead of just being like, what's the scariest thing we can throw at you? So,
speaking of scary, Jeff, would you talk to us about a spooky game?
You're muted, Jeff.
Jeff is muted once again.
Thank you. I definitely was going to forget. I'm so paranoid. Like, I'm bumping shit on my desk all the time, and I don't want to fuck up the audio. So
I'm flunking around with my water bottle. So
He just poured water on himself. You're okay.
yeah.
I used to play a lot of horror games. I used to watch a lot of horror movies. I find as I've gotten older, I don't want to brag, but like, I don't get scared by stuff. Like, I don't get scared by games or movies.
Nice bragging, Jeff.
I get stressed out, which is like a very different feeling, and it's not one that I enjoy. It's not really what I look for in games. I kind of just want to like relax. So I've steered away from them, but I've played like, you know, so the pick I'm going to go with is pretty cliche and like mainstream because it's a really fucking good game. So I wanted to just really quickly talk about two other games that aren't horror games, but that I really dug the vibe of. One is actually Gone Home, which is like, I adore Gone Home, but it's a really weird game because it's 90 minutes long, and for like 70 minutes of it, it's got this really kind of like creepy, unsettling vibe. You're kind of going through a house, everything's dark, you're flicking lights on in a room one by one, and I didn't know what the game was about, so I was always kind of waiting for something to happen. And yeah, it's not a horror game, and in hindsight, it's not even scary, but that just kind of like sticks out. I just vividly remember the first time playing that game and just kind of like slowly peeking through this house, trying to like figure out what's going on and stuff. And then the other one, which will be controversial, is Doom 3 has a lot of problems. It's not, I get why people don't like it compared to other Doom games, but I kind of dig the vibe and the atmosphere of that game. It's maybe not, once you get like later into the game, it's not that scary, but I like the dark hallways. I like the imps spawning in behind you. And it's just kind of like, I don't know, I'd like to see like, maybe in addition to like the main Doom games, I wouldn't mind seeing like a really like slower, more horror approach to Doom. I think that'd be really cool.
Doom 3 kind of tried that, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like so I appreciated what it did there. But my pick's got to be the first Resident Evil, either the first one or the remake. I love them both. The remake obviously is just technically better.
It's so fucking, the red zombies are so spooky.
Oh
yeah, Crimson Heads. It's honestly, that game is almost as close to perfect as I can think of if you exclude the voice acting. The Mansion is just such brilliant level design. The way that everything connects just eventually gets fused into your mind, which is what. And I never replay games, but when I finished Remake, I immediately played through on another campaign as Chris, and it's just.
I just saw him drink pickle juice.
Something's going on. We apologize.
Right.
Finn is drinking pickle juice.
I was like, ooh, what has he got? Oh, that's pickle juice.
So good.
Finn, why? Well, what? Okay.
I changed my mind. This is the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, Finn, what are you doing? Finn,
I will not be shamed into drinking Clausen pickle juice, the greatest of all pickle juices.
He's already got that like 3
I didn't know
a.m.
anyone
dad
drank pickle juice.
vibe.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I'm here
Well,
for
there
it.
you go.
Fuck yeah, I hate pickles, but it doesn't matter. I'm here for your chaos vibes.
I love pickles. I support you. I'd support you
I love
even if I don't love pickles.
You know. Okay, Finn. You know what, Finn? You know.
Oh,
what?
there we go.
Finn,
Got
a
that,
real
got that.
gamer, a real gamer chugs all the pickle juice right now out of the jar. No.
Why would anybody want to be a gamer? Don't do it.
Jeff,
Finn,
please.
no, I was kidding.
Don't
Finn.
do it.
It's down to here now.
Anyway,
Very disturbing.
anyway.
Last week was bagged milk. This week it's pickle juice. What's next? What's
I don't-
next week?
I'm afraid to ask. Oh man, lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I lost a lot there.
I lost a few minutes of my life. No, so that, anyways, that game's just and I will forever defend, and I'm fine with being alone on this. I will defend the tank controls in these games.
You're the
It's
only
nice
one.
that-
It adds to the fucking scariness.
It does. Like, I actually have to turn around before I could start running away. So I appreciate that they added the alternate option in the HD version
And
of
fucking
Remake.
Lisa Trevor. So I don't mean to
Lisa
step on your
Trevor is
toes
scary.
here, but like the writing in this game is fucking just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Like all the notes.
The entries
that
from
you go
Lisa's
and
perspective.
find.
Oh.
Yes. So good.
It's really, yeah, like
Agree.
the game from top to bottom is just really impeccable. And I get why things moved away from this, but there's something about the preset camera angles, the way they frame certain scenes that
Yes.
I will never get sick of. And I would love to see some kind of game, whether it's an indie game or another AAA one, try to recreate some element of that. Because just walking down the hallway from that angle and seeing the window here and the lightning from the storm outside, I don't know. It's just, all these images are just so memorable. And, as good as other games are, none of them really, I don't quite feel that sense of place that I did in the mansion in Resident Evil. So that's my pick.
I just want a shout out to the OG Resident Evil, the original PlayStation game, in the part where Jill and Barry walk in on one of the STARS members that's been killed, and he kneels down, and without a shred of fucking irony, this is some shit that he has seen every day, is yep, he's been pecked to death by crows, and I'm like, okay,
Just take a look at this.
yeah,
I
it's-
hope
it's
that's not Chris's blood.
I hope it's. Yeah. I found this lockpick. I'm giving
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Yeah.
Barry.
Yeah. I just I remember being 16 years old playing that, and he kneels down, and he's like this old detective. He says, "Yep, been pecked to death by crows." And
Third one this week.
Oh, man, if I had a nickel for every time I saw somebody get pecked to death by crows in my line of work,
You'd have a nickel.
You'd have 15 cents. It would be
Hey.
weird that it happened 3 times. I believe, Jeff, do you have more to say? Because they keep cutting you off.
No, I just gotta say, on top of all that, I have such a soft spot for that live action opening to the
Yes.
first game. Oh
Yes.
man,
and-
it's just fucking abysmal in the best way.
We can all agree I should absolutely be playing Barry in the new movie, right?
No, you're not chunky.
Yeah, you're not
No,
a bear.
Barry's
muscular.
kind of a wide dude.
Barry's got that
Barry's
dad bod.
built like
He's-
Butterbean, okay? I'm sure he's very strong. I know he's very strong, but he's a big boy. So
I mean, I'm a big boy.
I've seen you in person, John, and your body fat percentage and Barry's body fat percentage is very different. So unless you want to start mainlining cheesecake, You're not ready for the role.
I could play. I've got the attitude.
Yeah.
I could play Barry.
Yeah. Put me in a skirt though, and I'll play Rebecca
Justin
Chambers.
Harbour. David Harbour. Yes.
I'm all about that.
Nobody caught me, and I'm glad for that.
No, Derek, what did you say?
I said, put me in a skirt though, and I'll play Rebecca Chambers.
John, that's who you could be. You could be fucking who's with Rebecca? What's his name?
Billy.
Oh, it's
Billy. Yeah.
Billy. Yeah.
I remember his tattoo, but I don't remember him.
Poor Billy. Brittany, why don't you talk about a scary game?
So I have two that I want to talk about. I don't really play scary games because I have anxiety. So normally I watch people play scary games. Except for recently, I played through The Last of Us, and I played through Control, which Control isn't like super scary, but it's I could see where it's
unsettling.
But the scariest game I've ever witnessed and attempted to play myself is Siren. That game is so fucking scary. It's
Junji
so
Ito shit.
It is. The thing that's scary about this is just the utter helpless. Like, you play as a little kid. Like, you play as a small little girl trying to escape your Shibito parents. And it's like, and it's unsettling because if you get caught as a little girl crawling around your home, like, you're trying to escape your parents, right? Because, like, so first off, so for those who haven't played Siren is a game where you're basically, it's almost like you're sent back to this feudal era of Japan. So the story is split between so many characters, and some characters get weapons, some don't. And the whole, you have like destinations you have to go to or objectives you have to meet in each character scenario. And you can go back and play as the same characters, but each character has a different scenario. And it's really convoluted and kind of a mess because you can go down, there's like a timeline, and in order to 100% the game, you have to like get all these certain little things in each scenario. But basically, in this one I'm talking about, you are a little girl, your parents have been turned to the Shibito, which are the enemy, and you're helpless. You're just a little girl trying to escape. And it's like, if you get caught, they just like kneel down to you with this big ass smile on their face.
That ripped.
And Shibito, they have blood coming down from their eyes, and it's literally just the creepiest fucking thing. And it's a game that has left me to this day. Like, when I was pregnant during October, so 2016, I told my spouse to play Siren because it was the scariest game. We had to stop playing because my pregnancy hormones was giving me nightmares because it's so spooky.
Is this the PS2 version or Blood Curse?
Oh yeah, no, PS2.
PS2, okay.
The OG, yeah. The OG Siren.
That's scarier than Blood Curse in my opinion.
And there's another one where you run around. I don't remember who you're playing as in this scenario, but you are playing as you're basically running around a school. Like, you run around in so many different scenarios, but this one you run around a school and there's a principal that's chasing you, and just the fucking fear that gets into your soul when you're playing because you have to dodge all these Shibito, and then like he's the boss and you gotta fucking escape him. You feel so fucking helpless. And same with, there's a hospital one where you're running away from nurses, and it's just so fucking spooky. Like, to this day, I don't even want to touch it because it's too much for me. My second runner-up, if y'all don't mind, is Silent Hill 4, The Room.
Oh, ooh, okay. All right, I wasn't expecting 4.
The Room.
Yeah.
It is my favorite Silent Hill game because so every Silent Hill game is like mentally, like, it gets into your head, but I feel like this one does a really fucking good job of because you're stuck. Okay, you're stuck in your room. You're stuck in an apartment. You can't leave. And when you can like look through a hole at your neighbor, you can look out the peephole, you can look out the windows, like, And when you start playing the game, it's just a normal apartment. But then you enter Silent Hill. Is it through the bathroom mirror? I don't remember what it is. You enter Silent Hill through somewhere.
Through the hole in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah,
I knew
it's
it
a
was something to do with the
hole
bathroom.
that appears in the shower wall.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
And each time you go to Silent Hill and then you come back to your room is haunted in some aspect. And you have these candles, and you can either use the candles to get rid of the haunting in your apartment, or you can use it to get rid of ghosts in the Silent Hill world. And I remember there was a time when I came back to I was playing it back in the day when I had bad anxiety. I was playing it and I was doing good up until this point. I was like, somebody else has to play. You come back to the room, and all of a sudden, like, there's floating heads outside the window, and it just gets worse and worse. Like, the further you get in the game, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. But the thing that got me is you get back to your room, and there's somebody talking to you in like this deep, low voice, and you can't figure out where it's coming from. You can't fucking get rid of it. I couldn't escape it. You can't fucking leave the room. And I was like, I can't do this. I was like, somebody else has to play from here. And my last comment about the game is, it's so you take your neighbor to Silent Hill with you, and your ending is based on how well you protect her. So I think that's a really interesting concept in a video game. It's not just about you, it's about protecting somebody else and making sure that they're okay. And I will say, the only thing that's a downside about that game is it's janky as hell.
It is janky as fuck.
You'll zone you'll zone into another zone, and she'll still be in the last zone getting eaten by dogs or whatever the fuck is going on. But it just has really good storytelling. Again, like Resident Evil, you pick up all these notes and everything. And I think it's just psychologically, it just has the element that I think a lot of Silent Hills are missing. Like, Silent Hill as a series is spooky, but I think what it's missing is, like, I wouldn't say the execution, but like, it's just, some stuff are just like in your face. Like, you look at the peephole and there's just somebody standing like waving outside of your peephole, like it's just subtle things that add up that you see, rather than just, you walk into a room and it's bloody, like, I think Silent Hill 4 does a good job of just scaring you all around.
Honestly, like, I think Silent Hill was actually at its peak in PT, believe it or not.
Yes, agreed.
When I played PT and I walked around the corner for the first time and Lisa was just standing there in the hallway, I was downstairs and I picked up the phone and I called my wife, who was upstairs. And she was like, honey, what's going on? I was like, hey, baby, you want to come downstairs and hang out? And she was like, what's going on? I was like, no. I just thought you might want to come downstairs and hang out right now. Because, I miss you and I love you so much and I'm just feeling really lonely. And she's like, wait a minute. Are you playing that horror game? I was like, no, babe, no. I was like, no, I just want to. And she's like, are you scared? I was like, no, of course. Miss you.
Sorry, John. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no, please.
I'm glad you brought that up. Like, we can't talk about scary games and not talk about PT. It's a game, like, a lot of people claim it's like overrated now, and I think it's hard to separate it from the fact it was going to be a Silent Hill project. But I still believe that whether or not that had a Silent Hill attachment to it, that game or demo, whatever you want to call it, was so impactful and so memorable. I don't know. I think it's an amazing testament to how strong the design in that little slice is. And it's not easy to make such a short little experience still be talked about, like, however many years later, and have people try to buy consoles on eBay that already have it installed so they can, like, play it again.
And each
crazy.
Time you play, it's different and just scary, and it just, like,
I will
for a fucking demo, it's so good.
Walking down the hallway and all of a sudden the radio voice says, look behind you. I said, look behind you. And the first time I heard that, I stopped and I was like, nah, man. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That game, like, viscerally, like physically affected me. Like I think that game probably took years off my life in about half an hour. And I still have my PS4 with it on there, and I'm not willing to let it go. I was like, back before all the pandemic started, I used to like invite people over. I'm like, hey, you got to play this.
Yes, I still fucking do that. I'm
Awesome
still
game.
like,
And they're like,
fucking
"Oh,
play this.
Why?
Hey, John, is that on your PS4 Pro?
It is actually.
You know, I've never played it.
Ooh.
We got Extra Life coming up.
We got Extra Life coming up.
Yeah, I like where this is going.
Yes.
Yeah, that's. Oh, Derek, yeah, okay, all right then, all right. That is an Extra Life.
How did
plan.
it? I thought it came out before the PS4 Pro. Was it after?
Probably transferred your account, right? And
Yeah, no, I just moved my hard drive over.
Oh, okay.
That's right,
Got
because
it.
you can't even re-download it anymore, right?
No, that's why I was surprised. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think if you've already downloaded it,
No.
I think
No.
That's why people were buying consoles, because I finished it and deleted it, and I was on vacation when they announced they were pulling it from the downloads, and I was like so fucking mad because I'm like, I can't get home to re-download this before it's gone.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
You have your phone app.
No, I don't think I knew about that at the time. Whatever. You guys gotta play that.
I
Yeah.
will say another scary Resident Evil game, or like another scary Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 7 VR. That is
yeah.
fucking terrifying. I played that drunk. There's a video of me
that's a
doing
fucking
it
mistake.
somewhere online. It is just crazy. I stopped playing it.
That's a fucking mistake. So I think we want to move on to the last topic.
Yeah,
but
our last silly, but we got
but-
more giveaway.
but I think like Finn wanted to end with one last mention, didn't you, Finn?
I did. I wanted to mention I don't play very many scary games, but when I do, I play and beat them. But there is one scary game to this day that I've never gone back to. It freaked me out too much when it came out, and then I never finished it. And that was the Xbox 360 launch game, Condemned. Criminal Origins.
Ooh,
Condemned
that's
is
a good one.
good shit.
Condemned fucked me up because I was playing it late at night. Let's see, this was 2005, so this was Katrina Christmas. So I was living with my grandma because we had
Shit.
evacuated, and then I got the 360 and I was playing in her basement, and it was so poorly lit, and I was playing Condemned, and nope. Oh no, I got like 2 hours in. I noped out and was like, guess it's time for Cameo. And then I played
Cameo is
Cameo.
also good.
Good Cameo.
That's my story.
Did you also play Peter Jackson's King Kong?
We don't talk about Peter Jackson's King Kong.
I didn't fucking like that game, all right? It was good. I had just got my first retail job in an electronics store, and that's like all we have on the demo
big deal
kiosk.
about that game coming out. There's a lot of hype around it, and then it landed with a wet fart.
Kind
It
of
probably
like the
wasn't very
movie.
good.
It wasn't great. All right, Derek, did you want to introduce our last topic since it
I
was your idea?
believe we were going to do another giveaway first.
Oh, we're doing another giveaway first.
We were indeed. Let me pull up the list. You know what? Who's got the fastest fingers? Hit me up with another Saki Bless. If you're one of the people that entered the contest, who can do it? Who's paying attention? Oh, well, what do you know? Our Bronson, I ain't doing nothing good. Good.
Keep doing that.
Bronson, we already decided you're not winning anyway.
True. Bronson was never going to win because he's already won my heart. So, all right, pulling up. Okay, so it looks like the first person to announce that was already on my list to win is. Can I get a drum roll, please?
No.
I don't know.
Was that no one gave me a drum roll? You guys
I'm
suck.
fucking trying. I'm
All
tapping
right,
my
there we
mic.
go. All right. Congratulations to Blaine.
Oh, Blaine. All right. Blaine won a copy of Crash 4. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Because shout out to Blaine, who played the game in the hotel room because they didn't own a PS1. And Blaine is awesome. So go Blaine.
Blaine, you
We
rock.
have one more to give out.
Blaine, just hit up Finn or send a DM to the official account. We'll get you hooked up with your code.
Yeah, just DM me, and after the show's over, I will shoot you your yes. And also, shout out to Julian for spelling "crash" the way it should have been.
Wait, did you... Oh no, hell no, hell no.
Yes.
I want to know, did anybody hit you up in DMs?
Yeah, just slide
Kelly.
into my DMs and get a code. It's all good.
Did anybody tell you what their favorite thing about you was?
Please continue. I got nothing. Please
All
continue.
right. So
All right,
we had an idea. Since it's been a super light news week, there's not really news topics that we thought were really fitting for our audience. Didn't really want to sit around and talk about AMD Ryzen CPU reveals because it's not really.
I mean, you would.
I would, but like we collectively would not. That would be me talking about a thing and maybe Jeff chiming in from time to time. But I had this fun idea of everybody. So you remember back in like the PS2 days, okay? There were licensed games left and right. A lot of them were pretty fucking decent. It was like a golden era of games coming out that were halfway fun to play based on
We got a really good Chronicles of Riddick game. How fucked up is that?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, Butcher Bay was great.
Yeah. So my thought was, yo, everybody here, I want to hear a pitch for your perfect licensed game. All right. What is something that to you is a fucking sin that it does not exist? All right. And I'm going to say licensed is we're open here, right? Movie adaptations, fucking books, fucking cartoons and anime and shit. Jeff, you go first. You got your hand up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. This is maybe cheating a little bit because it kind of already exists, but I'm gonna stick with our spooky theme for this show.
Ooh.
There was a game on the PlayStation 2 called The Thing.
Oh, that
yeah.
That was
John
actually
Carpenter.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good at the time, flawed, but it really captured the essence of the movie. Derek, you mentioned how much you enjoy Alien Isolation. I didn't love it as much as you, but I appreciate a lot of what it does.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the staff have unfortunately departed Creative Assembly, but I would love to see some of that group or some of that team revisit The Thing. I think there's a lot of commonalities between that and the Alien game. That kind of like stranded in a location, kind of I don't know, just like that general vibe. It would just fit so well, and they handled that with such respect and appreciation for the source material while still doing their own thing with it. Yeah, I would love to see kind of like a new, keep it in that kind of survival horror thing. But and I'd love to see what they could do. I'd like to see them play off some of the elements of that movie where like, you don't really know who's infected and who isn't and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of mechanic you could introduce there, but yeah, I don't know. I think that could be a really, really cool game.
That is a really good idea.
That is
actually.
a fucking baller suggestion, my dude. I'm all about that.
Kind of like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially if you set it up like Among Us, like.
Well, that's a multiplayer mode, right?
Yeah.
Is you get several people playing, and one of them is infected, and you're infecting the others one by one. Yeah. See,
you got to figure out who. Yeah, that's really good, Jeff.
Man, that's a strong starter. Who
wants to try to stop that?
Okay, all right. I think all right. I got something good.
All right.
I got something good here.
Hit me, John. Hit me.
Okay, so
do not hit me. I have a delicate face.
Who here remembers that really terrible turn-based Lord of the Rings JRPG?
Yeah,
it was like the Third Age or something like that. Like
JRPG.
Yeah, it was like
JRPG format,
Fantasy,
but
Lord of the Rings. Yeah. It was terrible. It was awful. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I really love RPGs. I love turn-based RPGs. You know what else I love? McDonald's.
Oh,
what I'm somebody kick him out. Kick him out.
What I'm thinking is a turn-based RPG set in the world of McDonald's, where Ronald McDonald is your protagonist. And as party members, you've got the Hamburglar, you've got the Fry Kids, Grimace. what the fuck is wrong with you people? And like,
The fuck is wrong with us?
Basically,
What's wrong with us?
You can spend.
You had
money.
Ronald McDonald as the fucking villain,
Wait,
but the
hold
Hamburglar
on.
gets
No,
to be your
hold
bud.
on.
He's the protagonist.
He said protagonist.
Oh, okay.
He's the protagonist,
Well-
and you can spend money to supersize your attacks.
God,
And-
no! Somebody go next.
Or
Somebody
extra,
go
or
next.
extra damage. No, hold on. Hold
I
on.
expect this level of trolling from Finn, but not
No,
from
no,
you, John.
this is what I want. And the villain in the game is well, there's two villains. There's
Cholesterol?
the Burger King, obviously, is the villain, and then the subservient
God.
chicken.
No, no.
Like has a Kefka moment and kills the Burger King, and then becomes the main antagonist for the rest of the game.
You're fucking it up, John. You're missing the best swerve. Okay, the true villain of the McDonald's RPG are going to be the McKids from the NES platforming game, and they have grown up bitter at Ronald.
We talking about the Fry? We talking about the Fry Kids?
No, do you not remember McKids? The
No.
McDonald's licensed platforming game on the original Nintendo?
No.
Oh, it was a Super Mario Bros. 3 clone.
By the way, your older, wiser style character in this game, like every game needs a Sid, every RPG needs a Sid, is Mac Tonight. You know the guy with the big moon head, the big half moon head? That's Mac Tonight is actually your character who like kind of guides the party through the game.
John,
John,
I want you to know
will-
that sometimes being your friend is exhausting.
I'm just saying.
That's
I
your
don't-
dream fucking game. That's
Oh,
that. If you had to
absolutely.
put all your
Hey, you know what?
money,
We went
We
from
live in a world
Creative
where-
Assembly, the thing, to McDonald's JRPG.
We
John-
live in a world where Sneak King is a thing. Anything is possible.
Can I ask a McDonald's adjacent question?
Okay,
No.
please.
I don't know if this is just a Canada thing. Did you guys ever have the mysterious orange drink that like wasn't orange pop, but wasn't orange juice?
What?
Tang?
This has got to be a Canada thing. All right, never mind. No. I'll send you guys
mystery
some.
orange
How about
fluid?
this? How about this? I'm
It
gonna
was,
spice
it
it
was,
up. I'm
it
gonna
was
spice it
from.
up.
It was literally just called orange drink. It was from McDonald's. It was not carbonated.
we better get a fucking sponsor after this.
Jeff,
And it would be provided to schools on track and field day, and they'd fucking show up with kegs of this orange drink, and I'm sure.
Sun-kissed.
Jeff, I got bad news for you, my dude. That
was
was
it-
antifreeze.
Hey,
No,
hey,
look, we got purple stuff.
I gotta
and
look this up.
cola. Oh,
As a
Sunny
last-
D. It
hey,
was Sunny
hold on.
D. He's talking about
As a
Sunny
last
D.
comment, I'm going to spice up my McDonald's RPG. The main antagonist of the game is actually the CEO of Chick-fil-A.
I'm down with that. Fuck it.
There you go.
You just made the game good.
There you go.
All right.
Please.
Somebody, please,
next?
God, take us away from the McDonald's. Brittany, you got to save me.
Okay, so my dream game, I don't even fucking care what kind of game it is. I don't care if you got chicken nuggets. I don't care if you got friend. Give me another Chrono game, please. For the love of God, give me another Chrono game. Chrono Cross is my favorite game. I'm not saying it's better than Trigger.
Licensed.
I'm saying what?
These are supposed to be licensed games.
Well,
It's licensed Chrono Trigger. You know what, John? You gave us fucking McDonald's JRPG.
It's a
McDonald's.
license.
I don't fucking know. Then
That's a license. What is all right, Britt? What is something that what is a licensed product or a character,
like
or
a TV show, or a movie, or a comic,
a
that
cereal?
the game.
fuck. Give me.
How about Derek goes while Brittany
Give
thinks
me
more?
a Mass Effect type Buffy the Vampire Slayer game.
Yo.
Let me romance the fuck out of some Buffy characters.
Huh.
That turnaround, though.
I've never
Yeah.
actually
With it.
seen a single episode of that.
Oh,
It's
I'm rewatching
good.
it with my wife right now. Season 4 is fucking brutal because I hate Riley, but oh man, it's
Season
good.
4 and 5. Oof.
I love season 5. What?
Wait, no, 5 is good. 6 is oof. Sorry.
Yeah.
6
Okay.
is
Agreed.
oof.
All right. Glory is awesome.
Let me play as a badass female who fucking romances the fuck out of some vampires, maybe some shitty army boys, maybe some girls. Why the fuck not? We got Willow. She's a lesbian.
It's 2020,
You know,
y'all.
Right, and she would be
Got all
your
the right
fucking
ingredients.
magic user. Like, this would be a great fucking game.
Did anyone play that? Like, was it PS2 era Buffy?
I didn't realize there was a PS2 era
the
Buffy.
Chaos Bleeds one or Chaos.
It was actually pretty popular at the time. I think it was well received. Yeah, there was like I think Xbox or PS2 Buffy.
How do I not know about this?
I gotta
shit?
tell you, pouring water on my head in anger is turning out to be quite lovely for my skin. So it feels really good. Anyway,
Are you still angry about McDonald's?
no.
Yeah, I'm still fucking angry about McDonald's.
Finn, my man.
I'm just wondering what the fuck I was drinking then. Like, Jesus Christ.
Told you, antifreeze.
Jeff, you know how many times I've asked myself that in college? I've been like, what the fuck was I drinking? Who's
Also,
going next?
antifreeze. Finn, you got something, man? I can go
This is
first.
not
if you need a
pickle
moment.
juice.
I do. I'm torn about saying it though because it's technically had licensed game adaptations, but they're all just universally terrible, like exponentially, diametrically opposed to the quality of the subject material has been as bad as the games are.
Yeah.
So I really want The Last Airbender or Korra or something in that universe, but as an actual good game for once in my life. Because I feel like that property richly deserves a good gaming entry. And
Based
you know
on the M. Night Shyamalan movie, of course.
I will fucking end you. No, but like I would even be fine with them taking getting, since the writers have quit the soon to be doomed Netflix live action adaptation, they're now free. Have them pen the story for the Avatar after Korra. Give us the Earthbender who now lives in a super tech society that no longer even needs the Avatar and their spiritual shenanigans. Like, have that be the core concept. I don't know. I don't care. Give me some good old fashioned, make it an RPG, make it an action game. I just want it to be good. And also,
I'd love to see Korra on her gay adventures. Make that a game.
The fact that Korra, Platinum made a Korra game and it was subpar is upsetting to me.
I would also like a game based on the Wicked and the Divine series, which is the most Derek comic book franchise I've ever encountered.
I'll have to check it. I don't know it. So.
Oh, bruh. It is 100. So it's every 3 years, a bunch of teenagers are reborn as classical gods, but as pop stars.
What?
And then it becomes a very simple premise, but oh,
that's just Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
No. It gets dark and it gets bad, and there's also a bisexual Lucifer who explodes people's heads with a snap that I think it makes me think of Derek. Anyway, I want to make that into a Telltale style Wolf Among Us game. It's good stuff. That's all I got. Keep going.
John's mad. Brittany said the McDonald's game, but it's just John trying to carry a bag of fries without it busting out the bottom.
That was one time.
That ring video is still... It has watered my crops and hydrated my skin. It's wonderful.
That was one fucking time. Okay? One time, and through no fault of my own.
It is completely not your fault. It is still one of the single best things I've ever seen. I expected you to turn.
Just the look down and back.
You looked to a camera that was not there. And in that moment,
didn't even realize I was being recorded.
I felt complete and total kinship with you at that moment in a way I never have before and never since.
It was really just a metaphor for 2020 overall, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't even know it was coming, man. It was an omen.
It really was.
Oh,
Derek,
yeah. I'm gonna close this out. So I've said this before on Twitter, and I strongly believe in this. I am exceptionally mad that Firaxis, the creators of the XCOM games, the new XCOM games, not the original creators of XCOM UFO Defense back in the fucking day. But I'm very mad that Firaxis has not made an X-Men Tactics game. An X-Men com, if you will. I'm just saying that, if you took the structure of XCOM with like a Days of Future Past-y kind of setting and storyline. Get some good classic like blue and gold 90s aesthetic going on with like some cell shading. You know, have all of these unique X-Men who actually have like their unique movement and attack abilities based on what they can actually do, rather than having like generic recruitable randomized but actual like set characters, more like Fire Emblem style or something. Well, hell, XCOM Chimera Squad, all the characters are unique and have like their own individual kits. So already you have precedent for that within that format. I am just saying that an X-Men XCOM game, and probably, you know what, drawing more from Chimera Squad than XCOM 1 or 2, because Chimera Squad's just better suited for that, in terms of being kind of tighter and more mission focused and less immediately apocalyptic, and like the unique characters and all that shit. Just X-Men Com should have happened a long time ago, and I'm upset that it hasn't happened. But I'm upset that there's not more X-Men shit in general, and it's because of Fox for such a long time owning the X-Men license and Marvel going, nope.
Hey, X-Men Origins Wolverine was actually a much better game than movie.
It sure was.
Well, that's not hard, because any functioning game was going to be better than that piece of dog shit movie. But I digress. X-Men Com.
Wow. Jeff actually put the Fries video in the chat.
Yeah, it's good shit. Matter of fact, hang on, I'm gonna air it. I'm gonna put the Fries video on the podcast right now.
Please
We're gonna
do.
do it. I'm a king, and
No,
Jeff,
put
put
that
that
down,
away.
Jeff.
Put that away.
Here we go.
All right.
Here we
go.
I've never seen that.
It's so good. This is John
Yay.
coming up.
Oh, we'll put it on the stream. Yes.
Yeah, he put it on the screen.
I love it. The car locks. The car locks. The lights flash, and then just.
We gotta hit this now. Look, it's coming. It's coming.
You know, why not? Just play it on loop. There it is.
Oh, right. Just.
Anyway, I thought that was important for the sake of history. So,
Oh, you motherfucker.
I forgot how actual good it is. It's so good. It's so
Lena's
good.
right. Lena's right. It actually is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Like, it's just.
you just immediately hear the sound of silence pick up.
You can pinpoint
darkness,
the
my
second his
old
heart
friend.
snaps in half.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even really understand what had happened.
How did you find that so fast, Jeff?
I have a really good memory sometimes that I remembered. I just remembered.
All right.
John said, "Don't say I don't ever do anything for you."
Thanks, buddy. Derek, can I? I've got a quick.
Yes, please redeem yourself. I want to continue
this
loving
out.
you after this show.
Check this out. A Sherlock Holmes game. So I love Sherlock Holmes. Developed by Arcane Studios in the style of Dishonored. You know, with that kind of watercolor look,
Like
going
that
on.
aesthetic, you mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that aesthetic. Yeah. Focused around with the detective system of the Batman games, where you have crime scenes and you're looking for clues, and you have to follow those clues to a logical conclusion. Like that, obviously set in London. Like that is what I want. You know, funny McDonald's games aside, I feel like a Sherlock Holmes game in the hands of a studio like Arcane would be fucking awesome.
You know what? I fuck with that. You've redeemed yourself.
See,
You're back on the
Told
show.
I told you.
The
Folks,
fries is what saved him, honestly. Let's be
Well-
real.
His misery is what saved him.
redeemed all of us. His humanity at that moment.
We love you,
That's
John.
what we
one more
got,
game to
folks.
give away.
Yeah, we do. We got one more code.
We got one more crash code to give away, right, Finn?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's it.
Finn has arbitrarily decided not to give away.
No. I was giving 2 away to people in the stream. The third I'm pulling from the total group of people that responded on the Twitter.
Oh, got you.
Oh, right.
I wanted to give more chances to win to people that joined the show, but the final code will be pulled from the overall.
Got you. So it's gonna be separate from the stream. Good man. Look at you in your magnanimous, beautiful ways.
But I do have something else. This is for everyone in the stream. Keep an eye this week on our main channel, the official SDGC. I will be announcing we have another giveaway for next week for another game that just released. And it's actually going to be this time. So Crash was a PS4 digital code. Next week will be for a Switch code. Everyone knows that Switch games are always somehow better. So keep an eye out on how to win. Just like the Crash one, it'll be a very simple way to enter. We don't want to gatekeep anyone for lack of art ability, or sometimes we do art contests, but I'm going to make it simple so that more people can enter, so that we can have more fun with it. So keep an eye out. Remorse Betrayal in chat says, what game? That's half the fun. You'll find out when I announce the contest.
It's The Last of Waifus on Steam.
Yes, it is. And also,
I couldn't believe that
store page, and I was so immediately nauseous.
That's a real game that
I
exists,
hate Steam.
apparently, by the way.
I hate Steam so fucking much.
Fuck Steam. Seriously.
I hate my reliance on it.
Keep an eye out. God. Also, I've got some housekeeping for us.
Housekeeping?
Shout out to Brittany for getting she's going to be handling her first review code for us.
Shout out to Brittany.
So,
That's right.
Well, Britt, you're doing a stream this weekend, too.
That's what he's talking about.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about... Oh, I thought you were talking
two.
about...
No, this is... You have 2 things. You have a stream...
Yes.
But then you also have a review code now.
Yeah, because there's 2 games you want to stream. Coming. So you're going to fucking kill it this month is what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Brittany is jumping on strong with a whole slew of content she's doing the stream. But today we got approved for a review code for Brittany. So that's going to be on the docket soon.
Hell yeah.
And also tomorrow night, as is the case every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, is community game night. Now, we've been having a lot of people pile into these. So here's what we're going to do. If you want to play Among Us, we got a channel for Among Us. I am going to fire up a game of Dead by Daylight. And if you want to play a little Dead by Daylight, you are more than welcome, because I have not played it.
Are you playing on PC?
You can even stream.
I could stream it.
Spooky month.
So I am going to do might be PC, simply because that would make it easier for everybody, I think. Also, the game has crossplay, doesn't it? I don't think it matters.
I've never played, so I don't know.
Let me research it. I will confirm that. I
can play it on either, so.
But also, as Brittany said in chat, y'all better be spamming that fucking Saki emoji. As far as the community game night tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's every week now on Fridays. Last minute housekeeping. We've got Extra Life coming up with me and Derek. I'll be driving over to his place this year, and we're gonna be playing some terrible games like Left Alive, which is ironic because there's nothing left alive.
The plan was to play Left Alive and Metal Gear Survive. We're going to play 2 awful Japanese-made
and PT
survival games. And now PT. One good one to cleanse the palate.
So Derek.
You got to get some cheese.
I feel like I need to step outside of the room so you can play PT in the dark completely by yourself.
See how that goes. Finn, you have something to say.
I do. I changed my mind already. I came up with how we're going to do the entries for the giveaway next week.
Okay.
You have to tweet a picture of yourself dabbing to Peachy on Twitter and tag the official account.
This is actually harassment.
No.
Oh no.
No. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it.
We've given
Finn too much power.
He has way too much
what
power.
about people who aren't on Twitter?
Yeah. What about those people?
What about those people?
If you're not on Twitter, Make sure you're on the show next week, because I will, of course, once again be giving out codes to people in chat as well.
Damn, you handled that really well.
Yeah.
Wow. Finn, that's fucked up, man.
Folks,
that's fucked.
On that horrible, horrible note, it has been a lovely, chill, and ridiculous night. I'm very damp, and I'm getting clammy from the number of times I've poured water on my head. So, yeah, we should call that quits for the night.
Yep. We will call it quits. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, as you do every Thursday night. Like I said on Twitter the other day, my DMs are open. It's a stressful time right now. If you need to talk, shoot me a DM and we can talk about whatever you need to. Even if I don't answer right away, I will respond. So please, that is something that you were able to do if you so desire. And also, we have a Patreon. If you want to go hit up our Patreon, we don't gatekeep any of our content at all, and we won't. But if you want to help us get to some of the conventions whenever it is they happen to open back up, so we can get out there and get you some of that good games coverage that we know you're used to from us, that always helps. So if you can afford it, please hit us up on Patreon. We also have our Discord channel, which you can find pinned to the official SDGC Twitter account. We've got Nightbot just tossed it out in chat. We've got like 270 people in there now. We got channels from everything to general topics, to gaming, to Final Fantasy, of course, mental health and venting and the election and all that stuff. Just be kind to each other is all we ask. And speaking of that, kindness costs nothing. Take care of each other, and we will see you next week. Good night, everyone.